Peace, everyone. Love, love. I'll give people a chance to come on. It is just me today. So we're going to vibe out for a little bit for as long as the space is held. And we'll see how it flows. It's been a while since I did one of these by myself for a while. So still adjusting. All right. So yeah, I've been really, y'all know I just been in my rest. I've been thinking about how the fact that I did not get the chance to do the whole like quarantine and like really sitting and being still last year because I went straight into protest and straight into holding space, starting a new business during that time, was teaching, all the things that I do, I was doing extra. So this year has really all been about rest for me. I celebrated my birthday a couple of weeks ago, my 40th, and it has been just a really amazing experience and reflecting and over the first cycle of my life. I would say the first cycle, right? The first half, the first quarter, whatever. Planning to have a long, healthy life. But also thinking about all of the challenges and all the things that I've had to face and all the things that I've had to kind of, have an uphill battle about. And up until this point, it feels really, I feel really at peace with where my life has come to this sort of full circle. I feel 40, let's just say that. Like, whatever that means, that's what I feel. It's funny because my family has been teasing me about that. They've been like, how does it feel? You seem to be settling into it pretty well. I just feel really slowed down. And I feel like that's the part of, like, maturity that comes with being able to age, and age with grace and, just lots of grace, giving thanks always for the protection that I have had, even in times where, I was dealing with the struggles in life. So just being here, really appreciating things and appreciating where I am in my life, where I am even in my business, just reflecting on, my memories pop up and I can reflect on different points in my business where I first started to venture into this wellness industry, to this wellness business. And of course, it first started off as just something for me, and then it was something that I was teaching in the substance abuse clinics that I was working in at the time. And it seemed to be helpful for them as well as helpful for me. And so I was teaching yoga, and I just took that yoga and it just transformed into something else. It transformed into something else for myself, even throughout my transition in business, and, adding all the other parts and services and products and stuff in my business, along with the life coaching. That was a development that came along through after I decided to, again, for like the third time, leave mental health. And that's still something that it's still a career that I hold dear in my heart, and will keep it in perspective, because I can always get back into that work. But I wanted to shift it towards more of something that developed into something that was more holistic, that brought into all of the elements which I noticed throughout my journey that I needed in order to overcome things in my life, overcome my traumas, overcome some, all the different stages and development and, and misdiagnosis and like all these different things that were happening for me. And how I wish that I would have had the mentoring and support and the guidance, and to be carried into the different understandings around relationships in business, relationships with myself, taking care of myself, all those different things. And to finally get to this point where I can be in the practice and be in my business, and it be one and the same. Feels very fulfilling. And it also, like I said, has slowed me down a bit, because now I recognize how life is this unfolding thing that continues to happen. I'm really at this place of really just being still, not wanting to have too many things on my plate at this point in time. So if I look really rested or I look tired, it's really because I've just been laying around. I've really gotten to this point where I have like very minimal hours a week that I work for my business. And that feels okay right now. That feels good. That feels where I'm supposed to be. And just accepting that point, accepting where I am, has been a constant regulation of the nervous system. A constant going and talking to my own therapist, my own supports, and sitting with them, and really checking in with myself, checking in about where I am. I talk a lot about in the previous Tuesday Teas about how I was dealing with that narrative around all of these very grandiose titles that I wanted to hold for myself. And, I don't want to get anybody, don't get me wrong, like I'm still a very ambitious person, but my ambitions look different. They feel different. They carry a different weight. And they're not ego driven. So I'm not worried about, getting anything out of the things that or not getting anything out of the things that I have put out there, because I've gotten more than I can ever, be grateful for. And again, it still looks different. It looks different than what I thought it would have. My abundance looks different than what I thought it was going to look. My business, the way it's functioning, looks different than what I thought it was going to look. My roles, even now, looks different than what they have been in the past. And just noticing how, those things shift along with our value and belief systems, especially when we are, shifting this paradigm around work and play and what that means for us to earn or to not earn, to really just be in this living body and to experience this, each other, experience the connections with the earth, experience the connections with one another, in harmony, in ma'at, and really living that, like being a living principle and a living practice of what that is. And so, it just feels really, really full in that sense, in the sense of like, this is the embodiment of what the practice is about. And so, I just wanted to get on here and briefly talk about that. Just talk about, where I am in my personal practice. I have been a practitioner for several years. Like I said, it's just been a transition from always holding space in the mind, body, spirit part of the wellness industry, even when I was, full-time as a teacher or full-time as in mental health. And so it's been just a beautiful unfolding. So I'm just grateful for it and continuing to be with it, and understanding that right now I might be resting really good and really full, and I'll just enjoy it until, it shifts into something else. And then I'll enjoy and accept that phase. And then I'll have to go through, the whole, regulating what that means and what that feels like during that time. But just really, just really enjoying where I am. And I really wanted to do these Tuesday Teas to be able to get other people on here that are also going through the experience of integrating their practice, their own principles and their values and the beliefs and their practices, their spirituality, all of the things, and also bringing themselves into the work that they've had to do for themselves, and the work that they hold space for others. And I wanted to continue to talk about that because I think it's those things behind the scenes that we don't talk about. It's beautiful to show us spiritual practitioners and healers and wellness practitioners, whatever you call yourself, having the sage and the crystals and doing the meditations and the yoga and all those different things. But it's another thing to have those conversations about what got us here. What are the true tools, the tools that don't always look pretty, that we've had to use, especially when we are using these healing tools and these skills that we've used to heal ourselves to help others. What does it look like to have those boundaries between both worlds and to integrate those worlds at times? And so I am grateful to have the co-host that I have this year. Beautiful women, beautiful goddesses. So you all make sure you check them out. Check out the work that they're doing. That will be Lucretia Zen, beautiful herbalist, herbal practitioner. She's a conjure woman, just all of these beautiful things. So you can check out, she has articles that she also writes. Check out her things. Erica Appleby, who is a beautiful designer and artist and does art healing work, wellness work. And so you can definitely check out her beautiful works. And Earthworks Acupuncture, which is Joy, and all of the work that she does in Chinese medicine and all the different brilliant other things that all of them do. Those have been my co-hosts this year, and I'm just grateful to be able to hold space with them in various ways. Hold space with them as sisters so that we can come in and check in with one another and hold space for one another. And really learn from each other in our own experience and our different parts of our journey, all different stages in our life, different stages in our life, stages in our work, all different types of work that we do. It's just been a really beautiful experience holding space with them. And if you check out the previous year, last year, when I actually started this Tuesday Tea, last year I had a different co-host and a guest every episode, every show. And we talked about various different things in those practitioners' lives and what they were doing in the community, especially during the time when people were greatly needing to be to hold support for themselves and for their community. So yeah, you can check those out. They are on my YouTube. The previous episodes are on my YouTube. I will continue to do this. I really enjoy this. This is something that I continue to have in my routine because it's something that I need for myself as well. And so that's something that I also keep checks and balances on. What am I doing that I am bringing to others that is also for myself? So doing these Tuesday Teas, talking to you all is something that it's also very filling and very whole and very needed and necessary for myself. And I hope that you all are enjoying them as well. So, if you all have any questions, if you have any topics, anything you all want us to discuss, please feel free to message me, to comment, anywhere you feel comfortable, and we will get to talking about them. But let me know how you all are liking these shows, these episodes, and what you all are doing in your personal and business journeys, and how this has supported you. So again, you can follow my YouTube channel, subscribe, please share, please, comment. The more that you do that, the more this work is being seen. Also, go ahead and follow and share and comment on all of our pages, my co-hosts and everyone, and support the work that we're doing. Love, peace, be love, and live truth.